All right. You guys know. You guys know what happened. I don't need to go into the entire news story. Everybody knows that the Capitol was stormed yesterday by Trump supporters. And while I'm trying to get away from politics, not forever, but for the time being on this channel, how could I not address this? How could I not weigh in? Um, no excuse. No excuse, man. And you know I've made some positive videos and podcasts concerning Trump. Um, and while I'm not one of those, uh, you know, I veer away from like doing what the media already does for the rest of the country, right? Like talking shit about Trump. But this is this is something else, man. This is don't you dare, if you are one of those people who condemned the riots that happened over the death of George Floyd, um, the riots that happened all throughout the summer, along with the peaceful. If you were one, protests are fine, but rioting is unacceptable, uncalled for. Don't you dare try and justify what happened at the Capitol. It's unacceptable. And I'm the type of person who can condemn both. And there's no excuse for it. And I see people doing it though. I see these diehard Trump supporters, you know, saying, well, you know, there's been over 100 days of riots all summer long, and no one did anything about it. So, you know, don't complain when we do it once. No. No. You don't get to do that. There's no tit for tat. You don't get to say, well, they did it. Like, what are you? What are you, 9? My son tries stuff like that. You're acting like a child. You're acting like unruly, ignorant children. And by the way, to all you so-called patriots, you're doing it wrong. It's not patriotism. When you are storming a government building with Trump flags. Ridiculous things I've ever. I'm not like I'll never understand leaving flags with someone's name on it. I'm sorry, I never will. It's ridiculous. It's like I almost would have believed that you believed you were doing some sort of patriotic duty if you weren't holding Trump and Confederate flags. And not everybody there was waving Trump and Confederate flags, but of the people who breached the Capitol building, yeah, there's photos of that. There's video of that. There are people there, a lot with Trump flags, which I just think are ridiculous. Okay, I'm not saying a Trump flag is inherently racist or something. I don't really compare it with the Confederate flag, but just the idea of you know, waving a flag with a man's name on it. That is like so ridiculous to me. That's silly. And to take it that seriously, like, yes, Trump, this is not the United States of Trump. What are you doing? What are you doing? I think the idea of candidate flags is ridiculous. And then obviously Confederate flags. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're you're claiming to be some sort of ultimate patriot, standing up for what's right, trying to claim to be like an American while holding and waving a of flag of insurrectionists, right? A flag of traitors. So you're going to storm the Capitol building as a quote unquote patriot while waving the flag of a traitor. I mean, that's more than stupid. I can't even begin to to explain how stupid that is. Look, I don't have much else to say about it. It's despicable. Um, it's unbecoming. Uh, it's embarrassing, and I think it sets us back even further than we already were. Like this insane far left, far right divisiveness, this further polarization that's been happening um, for a lot of people would say for the past 4 years, but I'd say for the past um, 8+ years, it's been the divide has been growing. I don't think it does us any good. Um, I honestly, I wish I could have voted for a candidate like Tulsi Gabbard. And I don't know how many times I have to say that. I really hope I get the chance to. She's a young woman, so I'm hoping I'll get plenty, unless someone else even better comes along. But I feel like we need a rational centrist. And that doesn't mean weak. People in this, right? Being more. No, our representatives should be um, moderate for the most part. Because I feel like most Americans are moderate. Most Americans fall somewhere in the middle. They believe a little of this and a little of that, and they're not. It's not as it's portrayed on social media, on the television. On it's not. It's not what you see. You only see the fringe. You only see um, the worst of each side, and it's a terrible representation of the country because that's not where most of us fall. I consider myself because like classically liberal. I believe the basic founding principles of this country, and that's where I stand. And more of a libertarian when it comes down to it. I don't like classifying myself as a libertarian party because there are some libertarian, uh, beliefs that I'm not for. But for the most part, man, I feel like it's the most, the closest to being a constitutionalist that you can be. But I don't like to classify years ago, I classified myself as conservative, Republican, and just as I've grown throughout life and learned new perspectives and started to see things in a different way, I've become more and more um, moderate, more and more where I have some beliefs on both sides, and I would like, and I think most people are that way, and I would like for our government to represent that the way it's supposed to. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it today. Look, I'm really hoping to avoid political stuff for a while. Like I said, I keep saying it, but it feels like every couple weeks I come back to it. But really, I like to move on to some fun stuff. You know, what I do on this channel is I pick a random topic every day. It's usually entertainment or pop culture related, um, but I delve into other stuff as well. Obviously, this is a more political uh, video slash podcast. Um, but I delve into life stories. I delve into personal opinions. Um, you know, all kinds of different content. But I try to post something every day. So if that's something you can vibe with, a random topic in your feed every day, then please subscribe for more or follow or favorite the podcast. And if you decide to stick around, if you decide to subscribe or favorite or follow, then I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.